Every shirt down in Shirtville loved challenges lots, but Langdon, who lived south of Shirtville, did not.
Langdon hated voting and audience pleasing. Please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
It could be that his lens wasn't screwed on quite right. It could be, perhaps, that his strap was too tight.
But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his F stopped at 2 stops too small.
But whatever the reason, whatever the curse, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the shirts.
Staring down from his couch with a sour Langdon frown at the number of visits, the hit count gone down.
For he knew every shirt down in Shirtville beneath was busy now shooting a new masterpiece.
And they're shooting their puppies, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Then he growled, with Shutterfinger nervously drumming, I must find a way to stop challenges coming.
For tomorrow, he knew, at the stroke of midnight, all the shirt girls and boys would rush to his sight.
And then, ho, the rents! Ho, the rents! 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 That's one thing he hated. The rents! 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 Then the shirts, young and old, would sit down to vote.
And they'd vote, and they'd vote, and they'd vote, 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 vote! They would score cannon beaches and creeks under boats, which to Langdon looked more like a dog doo-doo float.
And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every shirt down in Shirtville, the tall and the small,
would vote at the same time, with Christmas bells tolling, and give out the one votes, so proud of their trolling.
They'd troll, and they'd troll, and they'd troll, 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 troll.
And the more Langdon thought of the whiners and trolls, the more Langdon thought, I will steal their souls.
Why, for over 10 years I've put up with it now? I must stop the challenges coming. But how?
Then he got an idea. An awful idea. Langdon got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do. Langdon laughed really hard, and he dressed in a cute Santa Claus avatar.
And he chuckled, I'll show all those art school rejects. As owner and founder, no one will suspect.
All I need is a shopper, Langdon looked around, but with volunteers scarce, there was none to be found.
Did that stop Langdon? No, Langdon wasn't kidding. I'll blackmail Art Ruffamo to do all my bidding.
So he intercepted one of Art's secret shipments of life-size woodies with extra equipment.
Then he peeked at a challenge while smugly gloating. A Christmas speed challenge that was still in voting.
Then Langdon said, Art, go start up your Mac. We've got some high-scoring photos to whack.
So they cut off the tails of Wendy's squirrels and painted pink bathrobes on Paul's naked girls.
The oldsters of Jaeger walked yellow brick roads. Lydia's frogs were converted to toads.
Giaban's head was put back on his body. Irene's water dropped on the seat of the potty.
Sam T and S.J. Halls lost all their blonde hair because it was covering Jay Minso's derriere.
The Waterscape's Cut-Tooth and Bear music shop were now muddy fields with weeds in a knot.
For cutout, they cut out some angels with flutes, while Coley's self-portrait grew strangely hirsute.
Tangera's grand dames with extravagant hats abandoned their dogs and French-kissed their cats.
Then a trembling Art, under awful duress, slowly peeled off Semper Marine's ballroom dress.
Then he took some sandpaper to John Reed's brow, while Joliet's most recent queen lost his crown.
Malethea's pigeons had gone alouette, and Judy could no longer fill out her sweater.
The Spurgeon girl's curls had become mile-high froze, and Bevy's graffiti turned elegant prose.
As poor Yospiff fell on the bar of his bike, at last there was nothing for voters to like.
Art hung his head while Langdon just grinned, but then a new ticket arrived for admin.
A small voice in all caps appeared on the screen. It was Shez from Down Under. Oh, what does this mean?
Something's not right. What is the cause? Her sweetness gave cold-hearted Langdon some pause.
She wanted to thank him for starting the site and making even her dreary days seem bright.
The friendship, the fun, she could not abandon, although she could no longer handle her cannon.
But you know old Langdon was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick.
You've noticed strange pictures. You're very astute. But please, rest assured, they're just from new recruits.
I have plans to expand and double the site. New members, new challenges, most every night.
And Sherpert believed, because that was her way, and happily waited for turnover day.
But not even turnover time could be trusted. The dates were all switched. The rule set was busted.
Each title read, "Go ahead, give me a 1," while all of the 10 votes were pushed to T Nunn.
Finally sated, he sat back and waited to eavesdrop on all the bad blood he created.
They're just waking up. I know what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two.
Then all the shirts down in Shirtville will all cry, boo-hoo.
That's a noise, grinned Langdon, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and Langdon put a hand to his ear.
And he heard a virtual sound in the digital snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very.
He stared down at Shirtville. Langdon popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise.
Every shirt down in Shirtville, the blue and the gray, was lauding the winners for seizing the day.
Auxiliary ribbons supported the strange, the entries that fell out of Gaussian range.
And forum posts bustle with outtakes and jokes, and comment requests, and a new slippy hoax.
Maybe, thought Langdon, some props are owed. Maybe a website is more than just code.
Those people all chattering to each other down there have one thing in common. They all seem to care.
And what happened then? Well, in Shirtville they say, Langdon's F-stop opened 3 stops that day.
And the minute his aperture let in more light, he saw that he needed to do what was right.
He fixed all the rule sets. They were clear as a bell. And he, Langdon himself, formed a new DPL.